Hello, I'm Joe Connolly of WCBS News Radio New York, and producer Neil A. Carousso and I are occasionally going back now to catch up with business owners we've talked with in the depths of COVID to see how they are doing now. One of those was Doug Grater, owner of Something Else, apparel and home goods stores. He has two of them in Brooklyn. And Doug, before we get into how business is now, tell us about the big change that you made right early in COVID.
Oh, well, we spoke about this last time. The big change that I made was I moved locations. I had the opportunity to grab an incredible spot, a corner spot that we spoke about in Park Slope on Fifth Avenue in Union that opened up, and it was an incredible opportunity, and I took it during COVID when a lot of landlords were accessible to make deals, and we moved one block away.
But it was amazing to you, as I recall, how much difference that one block change made, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, we moved to a thoroughfare that was an intersection between Fifth Avenue and Union. Union is turning into a major thoroughfare. It leads from the subways to the Prospect Park, as well as many bars, restaurants are opening up on Union, and Gowanus is the next big neighborhood that's happening. So a lot of people are going to flow up Union, and I knew the future, even if it was 4, 5, 6, 7 years in advance, that Union is going to turn into a major street, which it already has, from the flow of people from the Gowanus section to the park and into Park Slope. So yeah, we made that move, and immediately from day one, our business jumped.
Even during COVID, you jumped 30%?
Day one.
Wow.
Day one.
So it sounds like you had no hesitation to make this move early in COVID before we knew what was ahead of us at all.
This move was made within 24 hours of a shutdown.
What gave you?
I just knew that I had to do. There had to be a golden light here. There had to be an opportunity, and that spot was just sitting there vacant, and I always wanted it. And after about 24 hours of being kind of in the dark and extremely nervous, as well as everyone was, with being shut down by the government and all the media saying it's the end of the economy. Within the second day, I was walking my dog in the rain. I'll never forget it. And a golden light came up on my head, and it said, go get that spot on the corner. Not only will that be an incredible opportunity to move, but it'll also keep me sane during the lockdown, where I can do some work and build it up, which I did.
The dog told you. The dog was thinking the same thing. You know,
he sent you the message. The dog was telling me.
He's reading the tea leaves.
You get an idea. So that's what we did.
One last question before Neil asks some questions. Are you hearing of business owners who are still moving locations to a better lease now, even though the prime opportunity for that may have passed? What are you hearing and seeing on that?
Not currently. I mean, we're way past that that portion of this era. That was done. You know, the true entrepreneurs, the people that really wanted to make a move, already they did that pretty quickly during COVID. We're talking about within 6 months, or during the shutdown. After the shutdown, I saw some movement, but right now, I'm not seeing people take. There's really no advantages to take right now. Retail, commercial spaces are all back up to their pre-COVID levels. So if you're going to open up a business, you're opening up in a new era.
It's interesting.
You're probably not going to get those deals.
It's interesting. That's not necessarily the case in Manhattan, what you just described in Brooklyn. Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Neil.
Yeah, Manhattan is a whole different. How can you say? It's a whole different ball game in Manhattan. It's been going that way even pre-COVID. The rents are too high. The neighborhoods are changing. And again, the lack of tourists that hit Manhattan and the lack of commuters that are coming in has taken that city back 50 years. You know?
Yeah, it's amazing how different the boroughs are now, 2 years later. And we'll get into tourism a little bit later on. But I want to ask you first, how are you finding new customers today?
They're finding us. You know, I mean, again, and we spoke about this last time, and we spoke about marketing. And what I said very clearly was, I believe in New York City. I believe in the street traffic, and I believe in people walking down a street for a AAA location, and that's what I pay for. They find us. Another thing I did, we didn't speak about, is I had my entire front of Park Slope completely repainted. So when I acquired the spot, I did a minimal renovation. The inside was real nice. The outside was kind of plain with a logo. After about 8 months or 7 months, realizing, oh my God, we're in the long haul here. We're in great shape. I went out and invested in a completely new hand-painted front. That has really increased our business because, man, it is such an attractive frontage. And again, we rely on New York City and the tourist and the community, and they're out. I mean, this is New York. People walk the streets, so they find us. Our Instagram is strong. We started our music concert, which we ping out a lot of stuff, a lot of marketing on that. So again, the strength of New York is the strength of our business. And with the tourists coming back and the people getting back to normal, we're going to go with that.
So so you mentioned music. Have you built the store to be a bit of an experience as we come out of COVID?
Well, the store has always been an experience inside. During COVID, pretty much right when we reopened, it's a funny story. I was biking around Prospect Park on one of those beautiful first spring nights that we had. I was biking around and I heard a band jamming as I was pulling out. And of course, they took a U-turn. I sat next to them, and these three guys were just playing to nobody. But they were incredible. I mean, playing classic rock and just having a great time. And I sat down next to them and just had this amazing idea. Like, you know what? You guys need to be playing in front of my store. We need to set up a venue, and we need to rock the street. And, you know, our store has always been kind of a rock and roll kind of spot. And what's better than having a band in front? So I met these three gentlemen. They're part of a band called Alice Valentine. And they ended up being just these three guys that just wanted to get out of the house and jam in the park. And we put them there. And within the fourth show, we had Chuck Schumer getting up, singing New York, New York. Went viral. It was on Jimmy Kimmel. It was on Jimmy Fallon. It went
I remember
Twitter.
seeing that.
And then he came 3 times. It became kind of a tradition. And the whole neighborhood kind of just showed up every week. And then when I said, you know what, why don't we just do a series? And I started something called the Something Else Concert Series, supporting local bands. And I reached out to other bands, and they reached out to me. And we're on our second year. We pretty much built a venue outside called the Something Else Concert Series, like I said. And every week we have a local band, which we pay, and they get tipped as well. And we set up a whole venue with velvet ropes and a carpet. And we've probably had over 50 shows with all different local bands, and it's become a real success. And going back to what you said, yes, it's all about the experience. It's about a customer coming into our realm and saying, we're more than just selling jeans or candles or whatnot. It's about a community. It's about fun. It's about saying, I had a good time at that place. And that's something that I've learned through the series, big time.
Doug, do you charge admission for these
concerts?
Oh,
no, it's free.
It's outside, right?
It's all outside. I built a venue with about 12, 15 chairs and benches. And yeah, it's all outside. People just roll up, and they're free to obviously tip the band as well. And the bands love it. I mean, I've had repeat bands. It's completely free.
Neil?
Yeah, and so people come in. I'm hoping then that's translating to sales for you. Tell us how sales are today, and if you're selling anything different than you were when we last spoke.
Gotcha. Well, on the first part, has it transitioned into sales for us? I hope so. I think so. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's not like when we have the bands, our business pops 20, 30, 40% from a normal day or a normal Saturday in the past. I think it translates to sales in the future. I think there's a lot of goodwill involved. I think possibly someone comes to the store for the first time, stops, sees the music, and maybe pops in and says, hey, yeah, I remember that place. And maybe they'll remember us in the future. That's what I believe in. I believe that we're giving them an incredible experience. I believe that they'll remember us. So hopefully down the line it will translate. I mean, you want it to, but at the same point, this thing kind of just organically happened, where we started a music concert one day, and it just grew to the point where the neighborhood loved it. People wanted to get out at the time. There was no music, and I just felt like it was something that I can give back to the community and to New York, to get these buskers and these bands on the street, and just to see smiles on the kids' faces and the parents' faces. It was just a good thing. I wasn't thinking about sales popping. I was really thinking about just throwing my having the opportunity and the venue and as they say, the platform in front of my store to create this type of venue and put some music and get the city back on its feet.
You represent the best of business owners, and you seem to me to be a born entrepreneur and promoter. Do you see yourself that way?
In a small way, I do, because I create businesses and I create music and venues, but I am kind of low key. You know, I'm very low key. I'm happy with my 2 shops right now. I enjoy my free time, and I like being a big fish in a small pond, and I'll keep it that way. I don't really need to grow anything. I'm really enjoying the quality. I'm enjoying getting to know my employees, my customers, DJing in the song. I really like just biking to work and keeping things low key. So I'm really about quality right now. It's beautiful stores, well run, and just having a life. You know, after COVID, you just want to calm down and just stop and go to the beach and take a bike ride around the park. So, you know, as far as growing, I think an entrepreneur always has that itch to grow. I have an itch to just stabilize right now and just, you know, smell the roses and enjoy what we have.
But you still have a spark, almost like you're a new business owner. That's
every day I wake up, thank God I still have that spark. And like a pro athlete that one day says, you know, I don't want the ball anymore. Maybe I won't have that spark, but man, I wake up every day. I'm 54 years old. I've been in this business now 31 years, and I am hungrier to get better every day. I have the passion, more passion than ever every day. So, but it's not passion to go out there and do more business. It's just quality business, have a good life, and get better, man. Always improve the store, the experience. Always make just like a computer, just get a little faster and more efficient. I made a mission where I want my employees to enjoy themselves in the last 2 years. I want them to come in and be positive and have a good time. And things like that is where my mindset is now.
You represent the strength of New York business owners.
Thank you.
That's Doug Grater, owner of Something Else. He's something else himself. His 2 stores in Brooklyn. Thanks.
Thank you.
Great to talk to you, Doug.
Yeah, good to see you guys again. Thank you so much.